Hey, this is Zero at ReviewZoneHD, and I'm bringing you a review for Carnivores Dinosaur Hunter HD, which released last Tuesday in the PlayStation Store. And the story behind this game is that the dinosaurs developed a DeLorean-style hot tub time machine in 24 BC. They traveled through time, built a few atomic weapons along the way, and they managed to nab your girlfriend once they arrived here, and they're currently holding her hostage in a fortress located on a deserted island. You play a character named Chuck Norris, and your job is to splinter cell your way around the island, take down the entire dinosaur population, defuse the bomb, and get your girlfriend back. If you're not getting tired of the dinosaurs trying to take over the world plot that has plagued so many first-person shooters already recently, then you haven't been playing enough shooters lately. No, that's not really the story of this game. It has no real storyline to follow or any cutscenes. You go out in the woods, you hunt down a bunch of big mean old dinosaurs, a few of which want to snack on you as a lunch. And I do need to point out that I only played about 6 to 7 hours, so that's what this review is going to be based off of. There was plenty of game left to unlock and explore, but I'm a bit pressed for time this week, so again, that's really all that I had time to do this week. Now, what's funny about this game is the fact that the developers were able to take basically a very simple app that released a few years ago that I have absolutely no knowledge or information for, never played it, and they turned it into a full-fledged HD remake that is better than any of the last few hunting simulation games that I've played for the PlayStation 3. It was almost a full year ago in which I reviewed Cabela's Hunting Expeditions, and that game was just a mess from front to back, and it was a $40 title. This game is $12.99. That Cabela title did have much better graphics hands down, but the core gameplay was really shabby. This title doesn't look awful, but it does look dated. Now, when I first started playing, I was a little bit worried because there was no real tutorial, there was absolutely no music playing, and there's no music playing throughout the entire time that you're on this game. And there's also not a lot of background environmental noise. It's a very quiet game. And then I noticed I was in the middle of a very dense area with no sense of direction of where I needed to go. I spent a couple minutes walking around, and then the ground started shaking, and that's when it hit me. There's no safe spot to hide or run to. I don't know where the boundaries of the map are. I don't know where my character's at in relation to anything on this map. And more importantly, I don't know which direction this giant dinosaur is about to come from. That caused a little bit of tension, and that's really what this game is about, is hunting the dinosaurs but also trying to prevent yourself from being hunted in the process. It doesn't try to pull any gimmicks. It gives you a gun, gives you a pat on the back, sets you on your way right from the get-go, and it never holds your hand. The controls are a little bit awkward. You press L2 to look down the barrel of your weapon, and then you press down L1 to hold your breath. Also, when a dangerous dinosaur sneaks up on you, the screen just goes black and you get a game over screen. It does let you keep your score and your money for any kills that you had before you died, so you don't lose your progress, which is great, but it would have made the game 20 times better if there had been some sort of canned animation of a dinosaur just mauling your character instead of the screen just going black. It would have made the whole situation 20 times more tense. There was a couple occasions in which the dinosaur got me from behind as I was walking. I never saw them, so it's kind of strange to go from walking around looking for dinosaurs that cuts to a black screen that fades into a game over screen. I mean, I haven't seen anything like that since the Super Nintendo era. Now, the landscape reminded me a little bit of Skyrim. You have a ton of room to move around and lots of trees and rocks covering the area, but the downside is there's some texture pop-ins, and also some of the trees twitch and awkwardly shift positions when they're in the distance. The AI of the dinosaurs also did some funky stuff now and again once they started running, but they did a great job with the way it reacts to how you initially approach them, so you actually do need to be sneaky when you're trying to get up on them. If I ever had a chance to build a game, this would be pretty similar to what I had in mind for one of the games that I wanted to create. So I naturally enjoyed this game far more than I probably should, but you don't see games like this very often for the console. But I think back to every time that I played a Cabela game and I was just wanting to yell and scream at those developers like, hey, it's not that hard to make a hunting simulator game. Put a guy in the middle of a forest, give him a gun and a map, and just cut him loose without worrying about checkpoints, flags, or any of the other BS arcade nonsense that's filled in those games. And that is where this game really excels to the fullest extent. Yes, you are hunting dinosaurs, but this is the closest experience that I've seen to date with a form of simulation hunting on the console that could actually be labeled as simulation. Even though you do have a gadget that tells you if a dinosaur can see you, you don't necessarily have to use it. Same thing with the X-ray vision. that shows their vital organs, and it is optional. It also lowers your score, so you're encouraged to go without using it. It's pretty much a learning tool, and that's what I really like about how they designed that part of the game. There's a total of 9 areas to play in. Each one feels very different from the next. Each one has a handful of dinosaurs to hunt. Some are dangerous, some just walk around and let you shoot them. Once you have enough cash, you can upgrade to a crossbow, a sniper rifle, or a revolver. You also have several unlocks to choose between, such as camouflage, double ammo, and the such. Now, what made me happy about this game, and the reason that I can full-heartedly give it a recommendation, is the fact that they didn't dumb down the gameplay to please the arcade, Twitch-happy Call of Duty crowd. There's not wave after wave of dinosaurs that you're just going to be mowing down. I mean, this actually feels like you're hunting them. The pacing is very slow, which can be very peaceful at times when you soak in your surroundings, but it also flirts dangerously close to being boring at other times, and the dinosaurs are spread out, so you have to actually go looking for them, which can sometimes take several minutes. You're not going to be Ramboing your way through taking down one after the next. I did check out a forum earlier tonight. I read a few people that stated they were a little disappointed with the lack of variety in the weapons in this game, and I can definitely see that as a valid complaint. You'll spend a great majority of your first few hours playing with the weapon that you see me using here without a scope, and that certainly upped the difficulty and sometimes the annoyance level of trying to put down the harder dinosaurs. Now, if you've been patiently waiting year after year for Cabela to get the hunting formula right, then keep waiting, and in the meantime you have a semi-decent hunting simulation to play until they finally get it right. That's pretty much all I have for this video. This is Zero at ReviewZoneHD, and as always, thanks for stopping by.